As a junior media buyer, I was manually inputting so much data to build out reports and analysis until I discovered Supermetrics. Supermetrics allows you to save hundreds of hours every month by completely automating all of your internal and external reports and data analysis you need to do. With Supermetrics, there's so many different kinds of things you can build. Here are some of the things that we build for our clients. So the first one is kind of a look back window. So we're looking at yesterday, 3-day, 7, 14, 30-day windows to kind of see how things are pacing, as well as being able to pace budgets. Then we're also looking at day over day trends. So we're looking at all the metrics we kind of want to see in one cohesive place. And then we're also looking at month over month trends. So we're building sheets out so that we can see how month over month performance is looking. This is all automated through Supermetrics, and it makes our lives and our clients' lives so much easier. If you're not familiar with Supermetrics, it is a Google Sheets extension. It can also be used for Google Data Studio, and it allows you to take all the data from all the different platforms that you have data on and allows you to put it into one place. We're familiar with both the Excel and Data Studio extensions for Supermetrics, and we pretty much only use the Excel one now because it's significantly more flexible. And if you want to build Data Studio reports, you can actually connect it to an Excel sheet using the Excel extension. To show you how to use Supermetrics, we're going to build a budget pacing sheet. This is important because you want to make sure that your daily budgets are on pace to not overspend or underspend. To build this sheet, what we're going to need is cost by date. So this is what that data is going to look like. So you can see we have date, and then we have how much we spent on that day, and we have that for each platform. So how do we build this and how do we automate it using Supermetrics? First, we'll go up to Extensions, Supermetrics, Launch Sidebar. If you don't have Supermetrics here, you'll want to go to Add-ons, Get Add-ons, and then Add Supermetrics, or click the link below and sign up for Supermetrics and connect it that way. Then if you do use dataslayer or 2-minute reports for your connection, this will look very similar, this entire process, except for some UI differences. So here you can see all the different queries we have. If you want to create a fresh query, we'll come up to Create New Query. And then these are the drop downs. So how we built the Facebook ads one is we went to data source and we selected Facebook ads. Then we went to select accounts and we selected the account we wanted from the drop down. Then we want select dates. So we went year to date, and then that pulls it automatically for you. And then we went to select metrics. And in this case, we just want amount spent. If you added more columns, so say we wanted impressions, you'll see it pop up in column C. And then we want to split by rows for date. With the dimensions, you can split by campaign name, ad set name, ad name, and all kinds of stuff so that you can see specific metrics for specific breakdowns. So if you wanted to see like cost impressions and by campaign, that's where you would split by rows. And then you can also split by columns. Next, they have filter. So you can add a filter if you wanted to just take, like, for instance, campaign name, and you wanted to filter by prospecting or retargeting, depending on the syntax that you build your accounts with. You can filter by a ton of different things. And then lastly, you have your options. So you want to make sure you have your default attribution set, unless you want to just pull like 7-day click or 1-day view or anything like that. And then make sure you have on conversion date selected. You can check any of these if you deem them necessary. And then in advanced settings, I always keep results on refresh error. These are the other ones you can choose from. And I keep that one on because I always get a heart attack whenever I log into a sheet and everything's broken, even though I'm notified that something broke. So once you do that, you'll hit create query. And in this case, I'm hitting apply changes because I'm editing the query. And the only difference is you're gonna see impressions load up because I did that. So let me fix that really quick. Once you do that, then we're just gonna do it for each sheet as well. So then we went to TikTok and we pulled the exact same things. All we did was change the data source. And in TikTok, it's called cost. Same for Snapchat, we pulled the exact same stuff and their metric is cost as well. So you just have to remember what the platform calls like amount spent or CPA or cost per click and all that kind of stuff, because it'll be a little different by platform, but it's all kind of the same. So once you have all that data in the sheet, what you're gonna wanna do is come back to the budget pacing sheet, and you can see that everything is pulled in already. So how we did this is we used a VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP, we're gonna do a search key. So we wanna look for the 7th or the 2nd of July, 2022. Then we go to Facebook because that's what we're looking for. And then we're gonna select the range, which are these two columns. And then the index is we want the second column because we want cost. If it were in C, D, or E, it would be 3, 4, and 5. And then is sorted, we just want false because it's an exact match. And then that is it. The only thing we add to this is we add an if error, because you'll see how this, when we drag, let me go here. When we drag these three down for all of this, you see how none of this populates, so it doesn't affect the data down here. If we're to do it here, where there isn't anything, we'll get a bunch of NAs so that it'll mess with all of the data that we want. So we just want to make sure we have that if error in place, and same for totals. In this budget pacer, what this looks like is at the bottom, you have how much you've spent already, month to date. Then you have your average daily spend. You have your daily target. So how much you need to spend to meet this goal spend, and then what your projected is based on this average daily spend. The only editable cell in this entire sheet is the goal spend. So if we wanted to spend 75K this month on Facebook, we're gonna have to really increase our budgets. So that is what a budget pacer looks like. That is how you build queries with Supermetrics. And to automate them, which is the most important thing, is we will go to the Supermetrics window, we'll go to schedule, and then you will add a trigger. Here we already have one, but you'll go to add trigger. You can refresh it by hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, or however you'd like. Set a time for it, and then make sure to send yourself email alerts. So add your email so you can be notified if something breaks, and then you'll save changes. And now every day at 2 in the morning, it's going to automatically refresh all of these queries so that your budget pacer is refreshed every single morning. If you're looking for an API connector, Supermetrics isn't your only option. There are also Dataslayer and 2-minute reports. These are the plans available for Supermetrics. They are billed month to month or quarterly or annually, and they offer discounts if you do quarterly or annually. They offer a certain amount of data sources per plan, a certain amount of users. So in this case, one user, so only one email is attached to Supermetrics and only one person can work on it at a time. A certain amount of data sources that are available. And then for daily refreshes, you need to get the core package. And these are all the sources available. If you like additional ones, it's $35 a month. And they also have some premium integrations that cost a little bit more. Then you have Dataslayer. These are all the monthly plans they have. They have pretty much unlimited everything except for their API calls, because they work on an API call basis. So unlike Supermetrics, if we have that budget pacing sheet we just made for Dataslayer, that will count as 4 API calls a day every time you refresh that. So it's important to be kind of strategic about how you're laying out data and how you're pulling data when you use Dataslayer. Then you have 2-minute reports, and they have pretty much unlimited data sources and everything like that. They have daily scheduling in their basic package, and they also offer a discount for yearly billing. They offer extra users, so multiple people can work on it at the same time. And that is 2-minute reports. These are some of the pros and cons of using each of these API connectors, and we'll start with Supermetrics. Some of the pros is that first, you can use dynamic date ranges. If you are doing like a creative analysis report and you don't want to have to keep on changing the query in Supermetrics, what you can do is you can actually go to a cell, put a date range, so put a start and an end date, so B1, C1, and then you can just change the date in there and refresh the active sheet so that you don't have to keep on refreshing or changing the query. The next is that it has the most robust amount of sources that you can use. The cons of Supermetrics is that it is expensive compared to dataslayer and 2-minute reports, especially if you don't need all the different sources that they offer. The other con is there's only one user with Supermetrics. So when you sign up for a Supermetrics account, it'll sign up to that specific email, and then you can only access Supermetrics from that email. And if multiple people are on that email and they're all trying to load up Supermetrics, it'll just shut down and won't let anybody use it. So if you wanted to get 2 users, you actually have to pay double the subscription. The other con is that they're tiered sources. Normally you can just add another source for $35 a month, but there are some specific sources that can cost upwards of $85 a month to add on an additional source. Now to dataslayer.ai. Some of the pros are that it is affordable. You can have unlimited users, so anyone can access it and you can add as many people as you want to it. The third pro is that every single package gives you access to every source that Dataslayer offers. The fourth pro of Dataslayer is if you already have a ton of Supermetrics sheets built out, you can actually import them into Dataslayer, so you can just move everything over without having to manually rebuild them. Some of the cons of Dataslayer is that first, it is API call based. So if you have tons of internal reports and you have tons of clients, you're gonna have to use one of their more expensive packages to make sure that you're not using too many API calls. I found that when you use Dataslayer, you have to be a little bit more strategic about how you're building your reports and how you're querying data, because you want to limit as many API calls as possible because it will sneak up on you really, really quick. The second con to Dataslayer is that if your Google Chrome profile doesn't match your Dataslayer account that you're using to pull queries from, it'll force you to log out of all of your Google accounts and then sign into just the one account so that you can use Dataslayer. Now, this isn't an issue of Dataslayer, it's an issue of Google, but we notice that we don't experience that very often with Supermetrics, although it does happen every once in a while. Next is 2-minute reports. Some of the pros is that it is the most affordable API connector by far. With 2-minute reports, you get unlimited users, unlimited queries, and to get daily refreshes, you can use a very affordable package. The third pro to 2-minute reports is similar to Dataslayer, is with every single plan, you get access to all sources. Some of the cons of 2-minute reports is that there are some bugs on the platform and with some of the queries that you're pulling, but their team is super proactive in fixing those issues, and they fixed several for us when we reached out to them and let us know what they're working on and what's in the pipeline for some of the features that we would like to see. And they are super transparent with all of the different connectors that they're currently working on and that will be released soon. If you're ready to get started automating all of your data, make sure to click the link in the description below where you can get a free trial for Supermetrics, Dataslayer, and 2-minute reports.